Hey guys, Gabe out there here, Big Man Comics Live. How you doing? I'm working on the Unstoppable Tyrus. This is a double page spread, page 96, 97. I've been working on this piecemeal for a few days because I've got another illustration gig I'm working on that I cannot show you at the time. But so I am working on this one. But I had a great business meeting this morning with the co-creators of Empyrean, Earth Illuminated. And they showed me a trailer they've done. And we've got so much great stuff coming for that. And we've decided that I think the launch date for that is going to be Comic-Con. Going to actually be my birthday. The Thursday of Comic-Con is July 24th. I'll be 47. And I think that'll be the launch day when you guys can start ordering that book. Like I said, though, unlike other Kickstarter, Indiegogo, things like that, I have the project done. The artwork, the writing, all the editing, fixing any mistakes. And in fact, I'm printing up some preview copies that I'm going to receive a little bit next week. Just to take a look at them before we go ahead with larger print numbers and all that. But I want you guys to know that it's so exciting. And I talked to Tyrus yesterday, probably more than I've talked to him in a few months, and some stuff, just talk stuff, just between the two of us, but then talking about the project too. And he is so fired up about it. So I was really happy to hear, because, he's one of the busiest guys I've ever seen in show business. And just to hear how enthusiastic he is and what he's thinking and where he wants us to go, I'm psyched about that. So that gives me renewed energy as I'm working here. So yesterday was a very busy, very eventful day for me. Not going to get into some other stuff that was crazy, but it all worked out. So welcome in. Hit the like, hit the share. Thank you for joining me every day. Like the Mr. Rogers of Cool Action Comics. Just come in here and put on a little comfy cardigan sweater. Remember, he would throw his shoe in the air and catch it and he would take off his shoes, like his sneakers, then he would put on slippers. Now, I don't believe, my best friend growing up was Filipino. Had dinner with him last night, Korean barbecue. We ate way too much meat. But as you know, many Asian cultures, you do not wear your shoes in the house. And, he's been my best friend since we were like 9 years old. And so I think you're gross if you're wearing your shoes in the house. Justification, not a judgment. You go out, you go into the world, you walk on the filthy street, you go into urinals and toilets in public where, for the life of me, I can't figure out what goes on in a public toilet where people seem to spin as they pee. I'm not sure what this is. If the camera falls over, my basset hound is right at the stand right here. He looks like he may be trying to sabotage this show. But people do tend to spin when they're out in public peeing. I don't. But you step on that with your shoes. Let's just tell the truth. And then you leave your shoes on and go in your house. No, you take off the shoes at the door. Sorry. A weird thing that I noticed, though, is you don't take off your shoes at my Asian buddy's house, Pacific Islander. You don't take off your shoes at his house at the party. So you'll have 100 people there for the birthday party, these awesome garage parties, but you don't take your shoe off in that instance. And for whatever reason, it makes sense. And I don't know why.
They also sometimes provide the shoe covers for you.
Whoa. They?
Okay.
Might as well say you people.
Your friend and his wife.
Who, although they are Asian, are decent drivers.
Wow.
I said decent. I did not say good or great. I said decent.
Well, somebody got it stuck in the drive-thru.
Oh, no. Not great. But okay, is anyone here?
Yeah, Antonio 707 says, "Hell, Gabe."
Hey, hail to you, Antonius, right?
Antonius.
Because it sounded like you said Antonio.
If I did, I meant Antonius.
All right, get it right.
Yeah, he's been here daily.
Oh, good. Antonius, tell all your friends. But they got to come in here. Got to chit chat. Love the show. Send super chats if you feel like it. I won't stop you. Guys, I won't even limit how many of those you want to send. Put a limit on that. I'm not that way.
I haven't looked at any news stories today, but one thing I thought was funny that you just told me about yesterday.
Funny, funny, strange.
Both, I think.
Okay.
You just told me about this yesterday because you've been really into the Beach Boys lately, and you told me that Brian Wilson had a grocery store.
I love this story.
And
You hear the dog?
yeah,
Yeah, that was his thought from the grocery store.
he's laying at the base of the camera.
Okay, don't knock my camera over, Gene.
But yeah, you should talk about that because it's strange.
I don't
It
know.
doesn't
Okay,
seem real.
So Brian Wilson, the leader, founder of the Beach Boys, the heart and soul of the Beach Boys. The only reason the Beach Boys did what they did is Brian Wilson, in my opinion. One of the greatest, if not the greatest, American musical genius of all time. He got into drugs. He will tell you himself he wished he never did it. It did affect his life negatively. But even when he got into drugs, he seemed like a sweet, kind, playful person. He had a lot of emotional problems. He's been very public about a lot of abuse, like physical abuse, verbal abuse growing up. The dad loved him, and then the dad's like kicking ass, like not good to all three of the Wilson brothers, the Beach Boys. And he took like LSD and smoked a lot of pot and this, and he went pretty crazy. He started hearing voices, that's, that, and the other. But he'd get on weird kicks, and I guess he got into a health food kick, and he opened his own grocery store in Hollywood for a little bit called the Radiant Radish, and he would work the cash register. Can you imagine? Can you imagine just going into a grocery store and who's like a crazy singer, and Kanye West is there, ringing you up like, oh yeah, let me get a price check on these avocados. You know, that's I don't know. I think it's crazy that he did
Because
that.
he manned the cash register, right?
Right. That's what he said in one of these autobiographical things I'm listening to. I'm listening to an audiobook about his life. And fascinating guy. I think artistically a heroic figure, what he overcame in his personal life and mental illness, and how open he's been about his mental illness, and how active he's been in doing something about it. Instead of just sitting there all mentally ill and letting it ruin his life and everyone around him, he's been his own advocate and sought a lot of help, and he's a lot better now. He's an old man. He's 82 now, but you know, I saw an interview with him, multiple ones. He was like, "Yeah, I should have never touched drugs," and he doesn't now. But back then in the '60s, he, was told it would expand his mind artistically. So there you go.
I think this is funny. Agent Cub, I think he came in when you were halfway through telling that story. He says, who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the one and only Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys. He is the Beach Boy. One of the greatest musical arrangers. I mean, his vocal harmonies are unmatched. No one has ever done it before or since, the way he arranged vocal harmonies. You know, it's unreal. Why are you whining? That's my dog whining. I don't know if you guys
I'm gonna
can
have
hear
to
it,
put him out in a sec.
but he's feeling. You say in Espanol, sentido. That's a sad. I don't know what's wrong with him.
He is the Basset Hound, so they are known for.
Oh, hold on. He's telling me. Oh, they all have to hit like and share. Right. No, I think they will send a super chat just for you, Gene. No, I don't know what his problem is. He's whining about something. That's okay.
Antonia says that my guitar teacher in high school praised Brian Wilson.
Yeah, you need to if you don't have the Beach Boy music, like obviously you can get these things on iTunes for $10. These albums, they're dirt cheap. And you should get, the Beach Boys, like this summer, I think it's got the golden cover with a golden sun and a golden ocean. That's like a multi-million seller album. You should get that. You should get Brian Wilson's Imagination from 1998. That's an insane album. And of course, Pet Sounds is probably the most legendary album ever in American history. Pet Sounds changed music. I mean, Paul McCartney no less than Paul McCartney of the Beatles says his favorite song is God Only Knows. But as an artist, I just admire the hell out of people who are just the top, right? Because that's hard work. It's hard work to do that. It isn't just talent. There's talent involved, but talent gets you nowhere without hard work. It really doesn't get you anywhere without hard work. And I really admire him as an artist myself. I really admire him. I think artistically, my heroes are Walt Disney and probably Brian Wilson. And I always liked the Beatles. I always liked the Beach Boys, not the Beatles. Because the Beatles I didn't like because they pushed the drug counterculture thing. And as many drugs as the Beach Boys may or may not have taken in their personal lives, listen to music. They're not telling you that. They're not hate God, hate your country, hate your father, your parents don't know shit, take a bunch of drugs. They don't sing about that. Maybe they were doing bullshit in their private life, but they don't sing about it publicly. And that's why I've always admired them and why I've always disliked the Beach Boys. Because you guys who listen to me regularly, you'll realize this is a recurring theme with me of this is why I hate Deadpool. This is why I hate TV shows like The Boys. I don't like people pushing filth. I don't like it. I don't tolerate it. It's why I walked away from my dream job that I worked for since I was a little boy to work for Jim Lee. When DC Comics started saying, hey, Superman's teenage son, what if some of the story was about his sex life? I'm like, peace, I'm out of here. And they're like, oh, hold on. Let me finish. We also got rid of his all-American slogan of Truth, Justice, American Way.
Right.
Like, yeah, that's not going to sell me on it either. That's going to make me scoot out the door even faster. So I don't just talk, because talk is cheap, and a lot of people talk. I live it. I don't like filth, and I don't want to promote it. And that's why I don't like the Beatles. But you can't say the Beatles are bad musicians. Some of the greatest ever, singer-songwriter, like in modern history. But when you push that degenerate hippie shit, it's evil. You shouldn't push that. Sorry. I don't care how good the music is. Debating with some room temperature IQ guy on Twitter last week about this, and it just went over his head. And I was telling him how persuasive art and music and TV and all these things are, and that's why it's bad to make degenerate music, because then you're persuading people to believe degeneracy is okay, and then they in turn will be degenerates. Society falls apart. Okay, it's observable, and like the room temperature IQ he had, he's like, I can't believe you're so condescending and you think that people are so dumb that they can't tell the difference between reality and fiction. It's like, okay. So I just posted him a link from a psychiatric study showing that people cannot tell the difference between reality and fiction on a subconscious level. And then I blocked him. And I only blocked him because he cussed at me and I don't tolerate that. And I'm not a wuss, but it's like, no, I have boundaries and you're not going to do that. You're going to talk to me like I'm some, bummy ass dude. Like, no, we'll talk to someone else that way, not me. So, and I learned that like really from my buddy Jericho. He's just like, why would you even care what any of these people think if they're just going to be cruel and insulting? And then my good friend Tyrus, he wrote about that in one of his autobiographies, like dealing with social media haters and trolls. And he just said, yeah, you want to say something back, but like just block them and move. There's nothing there. Typically, no one doing better than you in life is going to troll you or do anything like that. It's just losers, people who are envious and feel poorly about themselves, and their fear and disappointment in their own life will come out as anger on Twitter or YouTube comments or anywhere, So that I don't have any use or any time for that. That's foolishness to me. So, but yeah, if you really want to see someone who makes art and loves art and just really knows what they're doing, you got to check out Brian Wilson and his whole story and the Beach Boys stuff. It's really good. If you think it's just like, oh, it's just like, girls and cars and, California beach, whatever, like there's some of it that started out that way. But even that stuff had the most intricate 4-part harmonies. The kind of music that it makes you believe. It makes you believe in, life and love and like, oh my God, how amazing is it that we have art in our lives and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's outstanding. So yes, Brian Wilson took a lot of drugs, went crazy for a few years, and opened a health food grocery store and worked the cash register. That is so weird. Not evil though. A lot of people take drugs, they turn evil, irresponsible. They have 10 kids with 10 women, they're a deadbeat dad, or they're getting in fights or going to jail. He took drugs and opened a health food store and then bagged your groceries.
Right.
So I guess that's the best you could hope for. So
right. The Horror of One says, I like the Hollies, underrated.
Oh, sure. That was wait, is that no, I was thinking of the Honeys. The Hollies I'm unfamiliar. I feel like I've heard of the Hollies,
I don't know them
but
either.
the Honeys is his first wife. She was a singer with her sister and like a cousin or something else. But the Hollies, I've heard that, but I don't know what it is. I can't
And where did it go? Jay Vasquez, Mighty Bot Studio, says, hey, Gabe, what are you working on today?
I'm working on page 96, 97 of the Unstoppable Tires. Let me show you a little bit of a clearer picture here. I'll explain what I'm doing. So I'm inking this page, but you see these red lines here. A great thing about working digitally is you can have things that save you a lot of time. People think digital art, oh, it's not legitimate. The computer's drawing for you. Like, that's asinine. That's not true at all. It's still, you are completely drawing yourself. But this would be so much harder on pen and paper to do what I'm about to do. I want to draw some steam in this swamp where this swamp monster has killed this crocodile. So I draw the full drawing. I'm going to come in here with red on another layer and draw where I'm drawing the steam to kind of minus out some of the image. And then I'm going to make a selection of that red. So I have that red there, right? Then I'll just like select it, and then we can get rid of that. We can delete that layer. But then on the black and white layer, since that red is now a selection and will be the only thing affected, I'll just cut. I cut, and you see what happened right there? You see how I cut it out? So I cut out that steam there after the drawing. So that's what that is. So we have that there with the background, and then that there with it gone. So that's what I was up to in that moment. So, and yeah, that's what I'm doing here. So I'm just inking over these pencil layouts. So it's fun. It's a Sasquatch, meeting the TV crew of a Sasquatch, one of those squatching shows. There's a werewolf jumping out. You don't need to know why. There's an elf and an owl warrior. You'll find out why. You got to read the book. It's like Ninja Turtles and 80s like X-Men Avengers, and then like Legend of Zelda stuff, like hidden temples and lost, prophecies and thousands of years of alternate history, like, Conan the Barbarian, Hyperborea kind of worlds and stuff. There's Atlantis, all that. There's crazy stuff in this book. I just full imagination. That's what this is here. So having a great time working on it. There are no rules. We just have fun. That's the only rule, is to entertain you folks and have fun. Those are my rules. So
Antonius asks, before tablets and PCs, how would you draw steam or clouds or mist? By brushing?
you would use white paint, or you would carefully ink the black around it, which is tedious. So the main thing that digital does is save you time. That's the main thing it does. People think it's like, oh, is that AI? Is that cheating? What do you do? Like, it's almost like people will ask you, and it's not their fault because they're not artists. They don't do this for a living. So I don't get annoyed, but it's almost like they ask you, so the iPad like draws it for you, right? It's like, well, if that were true, then anyone would do this for a living.
Right.
And no, it definitely doesn't do it for me. Again, it saves me time on editing. It'll lay out a perspective brush for you. Like if you're looking up at a building and all the lines are shrinking to a point, you have to do that by hand with a ruler, right? Here, the thing will snap to it if you want it to, right? I'll show you guys that. Okay, so I could go in here, drawing guide, edit drawing guide, perspective. I could put a dot right there. Let me delete all these. Delete, because that was doing something earlier. Delete. If I put a dot there, and I'm gonna move everything else out of the way. So I put that dot there. Now you see those lines? Everything's going to go to that as long as I have it selected. Drawing assist. So now if I want to draw a building that way, it all goes up that way. And I don't have to grab a ruler. This is a digital ruler. So it's not drawing for me, but it's like, am I going to set a ruler on my iPad? That's ridiculous. So, and you can move those around. You can move the dot to a different place, right? So I can just move it over here if I have to do something different. And now everything's going over here. So you would do this by hand with a ruler, but this is kind of the beauty of digital. That's so much faster than setting up vanishing points on a sheet of paper. So that's the main thing it does, is it just speeds your process up and gets rid of weird, tedious stuff like that. So yeah, that's how that works. But I mean, really, this Apple Pencil is by far the best digital pencil out there, because there's other brands. There's Wacom, should be pronounced Wacom, the Cintiq. There's Huion is a Chinese brand, and they make stuff, but nothing compares to this thing. This is like using a real pencil or a pen or whatever. It'll get a thin line on top. It'll get a thick line when you push harder. It'll like, you turn your crayon or pencil sideways and you can fill in like it does that, depending on the tool you have. But you can turn it into watercolor, paintbrush. You can turn it into unlimited things. When you go into the brush palette here, like all these hundreds and hundreds of brushes I have, you can make brushes. There's a brush editor, right? Look at it. This is the brush editor, and you can change everything about it. What it is it chalk? Is it paint? What's the origin image that it's drawn from? Like, so you can make your own brushes. And lots of people do, and they sell them online. It's funny, all those brushes, I use two brushes. I use this regular inking brush, and then I will use, I made this one to make trees. It's just little bloops, and you can like build up massive leaves and just kind of make a tree quickly. Now, I could sit there and do each dot myself like this, but that's going to take a lot longer. So it's not cheating, it's not drawing it for me, it's just saving me time. So that's the beauty of these things. And like, look, to undo, it's 2-finger tap, right? So I tap with 2 fingers. Every time I tap, it undoes the last action. So again, how would I do this in real life? I'd have to get white paint and paint over a black ink mistake, or I'd have to start over, or I'd have to draw the panel on another page, cut it out and tape it to the page. So again, just all the editing that this thing can do, it makes it blazing fast. I hate not drawing on paper because I did it that way for all my life since I was a little boy. I miss it, but the point I'm at business-wise right now, this is the reality of what I need to do. When I have more money, more success, more time, then I think I'll maybe go back to drawing more stuff with pencil and take my time on it. But I have schedules and deadlines, internal ones that I've set with myself that I want to meet. And this is it just streamlines the workflow. But I still do draw some things analog, pen and paper and all that. And again, like I just said, I'd like to get back to that mostly, because one thing that's very tragic is the wrong word, it's too strong a word, but a very sad thing for me as an artist is these beautiful drawings, they don't exist like on a sheet of paper. I can't frame this and put it up. I suppose I could print it, but that's not the same. There's just something about having the artifact, the real piece in your hand. What if you went to a museum and it was all LCD screens and they didn't really have, a Rembrandt painting? They just had a scan of it. So this is a business decision to do it this way for now. But when I can get away from doing so many things digitally, I'm trying to. So that's my piece on that. I try to be a practical person, to be honest, because I think if I was being immature, I'd say, well, I just want to do it on paper no matter what. And that is just an inferior business model for me right now. Because if I ink these by hand, I could ink a whole page like this, a regular couple page, not a double page, but this is 2 pages. I could ink a whole page in like 8 hours with pens, brushes, and all that. I can do it in 3 on the iPad. That's fast. I can do it in like 5 on a long day, but I can do it in like 3 hours of concentrated work sometimes. Whereas ink, 6 hours, 10 hours, like it's way longer because you got to be careful. Here I can go, wrong, wrong, until and then get it right. Now, obviously, I don't do that because I'm a veteran illustrator and I can do it on the first try. But if you don't, because you don't always get it on the first try, then you can do it again. And again, that editing capability is amazing. I make a mistake on paper. All right, here comes the white paint. So and believe me, if you go to comic conventions and you look at original art, there's white paint everywhere. Thumbprints, coffee stains, tape. There's just stuff everywhere on original art, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to see. As an artist, it makes you feel better. Because when you're a younger artist, you're like, how are they doing this? I made a mistake. And then you go to Comic-Con and you see original art, because they're like, oh, the Cynthia has mistakes all over it. They're like, yeah, they're like you. They're human too. So.
Jim Bob says, looks like fun. I recently have been working on a screenplay about cryptozoology. So this book looks right up my alley.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, I can't wait to get it to you. I think the release date for that, I was talking with partners. I got my sci-fi book that is done, ready to go. We have it at the printer for some proof copies. That we plan on doing the big launch at Comic-Con in July. This book, I will obviously give that first book some time to breathe. But this book, I'll be done drawing this book before the end of July. I believe I'll be done drawing this one. We've got a great guy coloring it. So I'll launch this book in the fall, but hopefully the early fall. I have to talk to Tyrus. I talked to him a little bit yesterday. We're going to confer soon on like what is our concrete business plan to market this and get you guys all excited to realize how great this thing is and how entertaining it's going to be for you. So I'd like to market the Tyrus thing soon after the sci-fi one, but we'll see, because I got to work with his schedule. You know, he's a great stand-up comic, but he's taking about a month off after the end of July. So I think that would be a good time to start marketing it. But again, I'll talk to him, I think, next week, and we'll figure it out, you know. So we've casually spoken about our ideas of what to do, and do we want to do conventions? Do we want to do this? You know, do we want to do limited edition foil covers and, you know, special autograph editions? And, you know, maybe I'll send out a questionnaire and an email. Would you guys like this? You guys are here telling me, does this sound stupid? Just be 100% honest with me. You get an email from me. It's got awesome promo of the comic book, art that you can't resist. And it's just like, hey, I want you to answer this 5-question questionnaire. If you answer it, you're entered to win an autographed copy or something of one of the books. Is that too businessy, smarmy, or would you go for that? Like, hey, I might not win. I probably won't win if a lot of people answer, but someone will win, or maybe 3 people will win, or 5 people will win. And then I can ask you guys research stuff like, do you want hardcover versions? Do you want a black and white artist edition? Do you want foil covers? Do you like? I want that data. I want to know what you guys want. You know, so would you like an email like that, or is that annoying? And if it is annoying, tell me, please. Just be honest with me. So
Antonia gives a thumbs up and an okay sign. The Horror of One said, I'll go for it. And Jim Bob said, that's not a bad idea.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for your honest feedback. Yeah, always be honest with me, because that's how I operate, man. You can't solve anything if you won't tell the truth to yourself and others. So yeah, when I ask you a question, I appreciate the honesty, because I hate when people tell you a lie to save your feelings. Because like, we're not going to solve anything if you just try to be nice to, you know.
Yeah, Jim Bob says, I prefer emails from people whom I've actually subscribed to.
Do you get emails from people you didn't subscribe to?
I do.
Oh. You know where I'll get an email sometimes? You go out and get a little bite to eat, and then the next day it's like, hey, we're eating at East Coast Bagels. We want to know, like, blah, 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 blah. Whoa. Where'd you get my email? Because I just used my bank card to pay. Like, I guess that's embedded in there or something. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll get it. I got an email this morning from the guy that did my smog check. Wanted to know how I was doing.
Did you answer?
No, I deleted the email. Like, brother, I don't know your name. I don't know. You're the smog guy. Car past the smog. Thanks, I guess.
I guess. I'm gonna back up here for a sec. Where did this one go?
Should I open a health food grocery store?
Yeah. When you were talking about what you were doing, what you were using, Jay Vasquez said, Jay Vasquez, Mighty Bot Studio says, nice. I use Procreate to make my Berserker Ashcan comics. It's a great program. It feels like you can take your studio anywhere.
I'll tell you this, you're 1,000% right. And I don't know what's going on with Procreate, that it's $9.99, one-time fee, no monthly subscription, nothing. I'm just like waiting for the shoe to drop. Like, what's going on here? Because everything, fucking Photoshop is $50 a month. Clip Studio is like at least $30 a month for the iPad. Clip Studio for your desktop is a one-time like $200 fee. But I wanted Clip Studio on my iPad to learn how to use it, because it has a lot of useful tools for drawing too. But they won't let you have it on your iPad. You have to subscribe. So I didn't subscribe.
Yeah.
I think I subscribed for the free week, and I use it. And I said, well, I'm not paying $30 a month when I already have Procreate. But yes, you're right. Procreate is. I hope they don't realize how much money they could be making with subscriptions.
Right. There was one. I don't know where this went. Oh. The Horror of One said, Gabe, I went to the beach the other day. It smelled like total hemp. I wish they had designated areas for that crap.
I want pot smoking to be a felony.
again.
I voted for it to be legal in 1997 or whatever, when they're like, oh, cancer patients, this and that. I was like, I'm fine with giving medicine to people who are sick, and they can give it to them. No more stoner bro going 30 miles an hour on the freeway.
Yeah, it comes
No.
in through the vent.
And smoking weed is cringy. And if you smoke weed, I'm sorry, you should be embarrassed. It's lame. It's so lame. Jeez. And the weed people, you just stink it up everywhere everyone goes. Ugh.
So I'm not a fan of smoking weed either, but I always feel like when it gets blown where I'm now inhaling it, I always feel like I should at least have the choice if I want to do it or not.
Right. My body, my choice.
That's not even what I meant, but I just feel like if I wanted to smoke weed, then I would.
Man.
But now you're forcing me to smell it, and I
Right.
didn't choose that.
Yeah.
When you're at like I've been at SeaWorld before, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you have
Why
to do this.
Shamu
That's
swimming so slowly in circles? What's wrong with you?
right. I just get a big whiff of them. Just like, come on. I chose not to do that. So stop making me.
Yeah, degenerates. Get a fucking job, potheads.
The whole reason I brought that up though about him going to the beach is because he said he was in PB.
Oh. I've been known to go to PB.
So I don't know. Does the horror of one live in San Diego?
He does. I think.
Oh.
Oh wait, does he live in Tijuana or does he live here? Because he's talking to me about Mexico a lot. Maybe he just visits Mexico. I don't know. I don't remember. Sorry, buddy. I don't remember.
I'm sorry, this is funny, Antonius, because I said if I wanted that to smoke pot, I would have. Antonius 707 says, Mrs. E, I feel the same about perfumes.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people, it's a full nasal assault with the Calvin Klein, CK1 or whatever people spray on themselves.
Yeah, I think
I'm half Libyan, and even if I wasn't, I can say whatever the hell I want. Now they claim to not be Arabs.
Libyans?
Persian people.
Oh.
My Persian brothers, you are in fact Arab. I know you don't want that. You want to be Persian. You want it to be its own thing. You are Arabs. I'm sorry, you are. Why all the cologne, though? Persian guys. You're snappy dressers. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, you're snappy dressers. You always have really nice cars. Great thick black beards. Women have beautiful thick black hair. Guys, though, my Persian guys. Why all the cologne? I'm just saying. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I just thought that was funny. I was going to say something about that, and I lost my train of thought.
I'm not a cologne guy. I don't wear colognes. I don't wear watches. I love the idea of having a watch. It's very masculine. I want a big, metallic, chunky, manly watch. I saw a guy wearing one the other day. It looked cool. I hate wearing anything. I don't like necklaces. I don't like wearing my glasses. I don't like wearing shoes. I don't like wearing a watch, but I wish I had a watch. It's a weird contradiction in my head. I do wish I had a big old Rolex or something, like silver, like the Pepsi is what they call it. It was red and blue and black and silver. Rolex, gorgeous Rolex. My grandpa had it.
Would you wear it if you had it?
I would wear it to like nice things, weddings, movie premieres, things like that, But I would like having it, but I wouldn't just wear it every day.
I wear a watch every day. I am
late
that
here
person.
4 days a week. I can't wear a watch. I have to beat the shit out of it. Yes, I have a full bench press and squat rack right there, about 8 feet away from me. Yes, this is my domain.
Antonius has a solution to your problem. He said, make pocket watches great again.
Oh, indubitably, sir.
Right. And the horror of one says, yeah, Persian women are gorgeous.
Yeah, right.
He said, I mean Arab.
They are.
Oops. Let's see. They
had that thick black hair, that big old schnoz. You guys know from watching my shows, I'm a fan of the big nose on a lady, but it's like gotta have the right shape. Because some guys just like big stuff, like a big butt, big whatever. So, yeah, big is nice. It's gotta be like shaped correctly too. So
You got a super chat.
there's hold on. I just want to make this. Thank you for the super chat. We'll get to it. There's big wow, and there's big wow. You know, there's two kinds of big. So anyway, what'd you say?
You've got a super chat.
Do you know how to put it up on the screen?
Yes, but I don't
Okay,
know.
we'll get to the other part. What's it say? Read it to me.
It says, Brother Gabe, huge fan of Dean Cain, All American Lawman, and your other work. I am starting my own graphic novel and was wondering if you could connect me with an up and coming hungry artist looking forward to Empyrean.
I know veteran artists that charge a lot and are worth it. I don't know a lot of young guys that I can think of off the top of my head. I don't know any, to be honest with you, that I know like personally. Just be around Instagram and Twitter, make friends, and try and find it. The guys I know, they charge. I pay them a lot, and they're worth it. You know what I mean? So can't help you on that. As far as Dean Cain, I'll be seeing him tomorrow, most likely. And yeah, I'm glad you liked it. I'll be hopefully talk to him a little bit about the sequel to the book. Got some great ideas. I'd love to get to work on that sequel sooner rather than later. One thing I've learned this year. And I'm so glad that I did the Eric July model of crowdfunding where I finished the book and then I crowdfunded. Because I got really hyped up and really excited a year ago and I announced 4 different titles for 2025. And it's become very obvious to me there's not enough time to do all that. Do you know how horrible I would feel if I had taken a bunch of money from you guys? I promised 4 books this year and then they weren't coming out. I've never turned in a project late, ever. Been an artist for over 25 years. I've never turned a project in late. Thank goodness I didn't crowdfund the other way. We take the money up front and all that because it's allowed me to do this at the pace I want to do it and not feel horrible stress. And just think, you in the audience, imagine if you had tons of money from your fans and your backers and all these people, and you're like every day just working and working, the horrible stress you would feel. So yeah, doing it this way where I take the risk up front, get the book done, and then we crowdfund it afterwards. That's the way to do this stuff. You know, in my opinion, it's the only way because it allows you as an artist to take your time. Because I don't owe anyone anything because I haven't taken a penny from anyone. You know, so I'm really glad. So yeah, I say that to say like I want to get to the Dean Cain thing. I thought I would get to it this year for sure. I don't know. We're already in June, and I haven't even done the rewrite on the script, and we're still working on this. We got another thing and marketing this and that, and you know, I've been looking for a cartoon style artist. You're asking me, you guys are asking me if I don't know. I'm looking for a guy that draws like manga style, kids, more younger kid style for a book I still want to do. I haven't been able to find that. So going forward, I'll be take this information I've gathered this year as far as the speed of getting things done and use that when I announce things and make plans. I'll be more careful announcing, less things at a time.
So he does say, and I forgot to say who it is. It's Zero Dark 20.
Oh.
He says, I'm okay with anyone you recommend. So I don't know if you want him to.
There's a guy.
DM you or something.
There's a guy got a real mainstream style. Really good. I don't know if you heard of his name's like Jim Lee. Oh. Okay. He's over at DC Comics a lot. He's really good. I hear he's expensive though.
I think he's serious. One thing, though, you can recommend, though, is if he reaches out to people to like what he should be looking for. Like, do they have any examples of sequential art and stuff like that?
I would say this. Yes, you want to look at the art and make sure it's good, right? But I want to look at their work ethic and their history. Do they get things done? Or are they like a lot of artists and they're like, squirrel. And they're like, oh, I want to do this. And they draw 3, 4, 5 pages and like, now that's boring this one. Now that's boring this one. And they got a bunch of, they got a dozen half-baked projects under their belt and nothing accomplished. Because the thing about being an artist, it isn't just glamour. You know how long I've been drawing this Tyrus book? Since, I think, December, right? We're into June now. I'm still working on it. And I probably have about a month left to go because I'm doing another job too, a side job of just some pure illustration work, freelance actually. And so you have to be able to concentrate and focus and be alone in your studio. There's no glory. There's no one clapping and you're getting upvotes and likes on it. It's a lot of hard work that's not boring or mundane, but it's like there's no fanfare. There aren't cheerleaders here jiggling and throwing confetti and everything. So I'm just drawing for hours a day, right? And a lot of artists, they can't stick to that because they love the hype and the party aspect to this. And my bottom line is you need to make sure they're a professional artist. And I mean professional in their behavior. And the only way to do that is to see their track record. What have they done? Let other people break artists in, man. You don't want to break people. I really don't think I would hire brand new people. They would have to blow me away of like a generational talent of their abilities for me to hire a kid, like a young person that, and not even, it's not age, it's not the number, it's inexperience. Because you can come to me 60 years old, but if you just started drawing comics and you didn't know deadline, I don't want to deal with all that, dude.
Yeah,
You know?
there's I've from what I've seen and being a looker into the industry for a long time, sometimes I feel like artists get hung up on some things and it affects their ability to turn things in on time and work consistently.
I think too many artists are way too emotional. They're emotional dudes. Like, I just turned into a robot. Like, I gotta get this done.
Yeah, but I don't think you're the
This is an
norm.
algorithm. I gotta get it done, and this is how to get it done, and I gotta get it done by this day. And it served me well. I have a sterling reputation for never blowing a deadline, ever.
Yeah. So Zero Dark sent another super chat, but I want to read real quick.
Oh, can we give him the bonus for the super chat? If you click on the stuff on the right that says brand,
The stuff on the right that says brand.
it's a tab that says brand. You click it.
No, I see comments, banners, media assets, style, and private chat.
Maybe you don't even have it up. Stretch the window more to the right. Those buttons on all the way on the right.
These right here, I read them to you.
What does it say?
Comments, banners.
Click on banners. It used to be called branding. Scroll down, see what's in there. No, that's not it.
No, media assets. Oh,
okay. Scroll down, and there's like little videos. It's way down.
Yeah, I see it.
And you'll find the Van Damme video. Then you have to go back to the comments.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
Oh, it's called booty.
This is your reward for
shake, 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 shake your booty, shake your booty.
Oh, sorry.
Anytime you send a super chat, you get the Van Damme booty shit video. So, all right, guys, throw your money on the stage. That's been a tradition on the show for years. So,
okay.
and I will do it every time we send a super chat.
So before I read his next super chat, I just wanted to read two comments. The horror of one, when you were talking about seeing Dean tomorrow, he says, Gabe and DC together again.
That's right, baby.
And also the horror of one said, I've saw and heard some artists who haven't fulfilled their donors. So that's goes back to what you were talking about, doing the work ahead of time, and also what you were saying of look at somebody's history of getting their work done for Zero Dark.
Right.
But his next super chat said, and it's for $20, says,
ooh, very generous.
His first one was $20 also. Wow. Sorry, I didn't mention that.
I'm gonna buy a McDonald's value meal because interest is up so much. It's $20 to eat there. It's crazy.
But since he sent two, I can eat also. Thank you, Zero Dark. It says, sorry, did not mean to sound cheap. If you can throw a couple of people you know my way, regardless of price, I would be grateful. Peace and love to you and your family.
Yes, yeah. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for the super chat. I'm glad that you're eager and earnest to do this. Go onto my website, bigmancomics.com, and hit the contact me thing there and email me. And just remind me that you're from the show. You're Zero Dark 20. I get the reference there. Zero Dark 30 being the movie. And book, I believe, too.
And then,
but yeah, email me through my website. That's my that's where I take questions or whatever like that, and I'll see what I can do there because I do know some people, but they ain't cheap, you know. And I'm in my head, I'm like, who are people who are good? Who are people who are good and reliable? Oh shit. Just
that list gets
that's a tiny list. People who are good and reliable, like timely, and I'm hogging those guys to myself. I'm not sharing those guys.
So I got to give Zero Dark his second booty shake.
All right, here you go. More booty for you.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty. Shake your booty.
All right.
Uh,
Yeah, we've been doing that for like 3 years on this show.
Jay Vasquez, Mighty Bot Studio says, "Hey Gabe, how's your daughter's stand-up coming along? I haven't been around in a while."
Oh, well, she's doing better than ever, getting paid, doing shows with huge famous comedians. And the biggest comedy club in the world is the Comedy Store in Hollywood. And there's one other comedy store here in San Diego. She got hired there. So she works there as paid, I think it's called a paid regular, right? That's what she told us.
Something like
And
that,
she
yeah.
does a few shows a month there that she always could be in. And then she actually works there, like, I guess, tearing tickets and stuff like that. So it's like you work at the club, and then you also get to do stand-up there a few times a month or once or twice a week or something like that.
I think they have shows twice a week that she's
Oh,
allowed
twice
to
a week,
perform at. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's on her way. She's on her way, and it's better than ever. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, and she seats people and then also does the lights for the comedians, like, hey, the 2-minute warning.
Right.
And all
Oh,
that.
yeah. When you're a comedian on stage, none of you would know this because why would you know it? They flash a light from the back of the room at you or shine a flashlight, or sometimes they have a big spotlight thing. And that means you got like a minute left or get the hell off the stage or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
They give you the light. So if you ever hear a comedian say, "I saw the light," because they're going over, that's what they're talking about.
Right.
The Horror of One says, "That's cool. So happy for her."
Yeah, she's worked hard at it for so many years. It's going
Yeah,
quite well.
she's doing fantastic. And if you've been watching the show for a while, she was named the San Diego Roast Battle MVP. It was for this year. San Diego had its first like awards like that, and she's the very first Roast Battle MVP for San
Right.
Diego.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Let's see here. Not sure what else is going on. The Horror of One had asked earlier when you were talking about using the iPad versus paper and what the difference is. He said, "Gabe, don't some artists use like photo for backgrounds and panels?"
You can do that. You can do that. I mean, they've done that since the 60s. Steranko, Jim Steranko, he was a graphic designer and advertiser, like Mad Men. Jim Steranko's a character. He's like,
I like
80s.
Jim
Yeah,
Steranko.
he's just one of those guys. That, like, super ultra. This is how masculine and old he is. He always wears a suit. His hair is impeccably
A
combed.
helmet.
He's like 85. And I met him, like, dude, you're one of my heroes. I bought some prints, this and that. My wife was with me. I said, can we take a picture? He's like, I don't take pictures with fellas. I'll take a picture with your wife. Like,
Right.
okay.
So I have a picture with Jim Steranko,
He's like,
one of
I ain't-
your favorite artists.
I ain't touching a dude. He didn't say that, but it's like, okay, you're from another era. I get it.
Yeah, it was pretty
You know,
funny.
put your arm on my shoulder. What, you want to propose to me next? He didn't say all that, but it was fun. And he wasn't a dick. He was really nice.
No, he was super cool and suave,
Yeah,
though.
he's just old school.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but he would use Photoshop, not Photoshop, like a Xerox machine, and that'll pump out the contrast on a photo so it'll look like a drawing. And you'll see it in comics to this day. I don't do it because I want to draw everything. I 100% have no problem with it. You know, you're telling a story and you tell it the way you need to tell it. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. It's been done for decades. I'm sure it's been done as long as we've had photographic technology. So some guys, you know, they trace a car. I have no problem with that. To draw a car from scratch and measuring it and looking at photos, it's gonna take you forever. You just get a nice toy car that's a really high quality. Like say you're writing a comic and there was a certain car, yeah, Corvette. Your hero had this, 55 Vet. Just buy the best Corvette you can buy and then take photos of it at different angles, pop it into your drawing app, and just trace the general shape. And then you juice it up, though. But see, you don't just trace it. You trace it and then you stretch it if it's going fast. You bend it or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Because if you just trace a photo, it's going to kind of look dead on the page. So, but yeah, I have no problem with that. And anyone that criticizes stuff like that, they don't know what they're talking about. they had no idea. It's obvious they've never done this for a living. So, because the point of the work is work. The point of the work is to get it done. Not talk about getting it done for 5,000 years. The point of all work is to do the fucking work. That's the point of it. So if you have to, you know, like let's say you're doing a historical whatever, and there's like a Civil War blockade runner steamship. Really? You're just going to come up with that off the top of your head? No, ridiculous. Of
Or
course, using reference.
or study it.
Right. I remember Mike Barron wrote a fantasy Indiana Jones kind of thing, a little small comic that I worked on with him 20 years ago, and it had a German half track in it. I still have to this day on my desk a little tiny model of a half track I bought. I didn't know what they looked like. Google wasn't as good at image search. Like internet image search wasn't what it is now back then. And so I would spin this little half track around and look at the shape and how the wheels, how the tracks were, and the gun, and I used it for reference. So of course, yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Jay Vasquez, Mighty Bot Studio says, I'll use AI to make lame background stuff like looking up at a living room ceiling. This is quote, looking up at a living room ceiling with a window and curtains, then cartoonify it to my style.
Interesting. Yeah, for me, that's a line I won't cross, and I don't think you're bad for doing it. Like, do whatever you want to do. I won't put AI art in my art. Like, I'm good enough at drawing where I'm not going to do something like that. And I'm not saying you're not good at drawing. It's just a choice you're making. But to me, that's a little. I don't want to do it because they stole all that art. I'll use AI for my YouTube thumbnail, but to me, that's like throwaway art. I mean, is a YouTube thumbnail even really art? It's just something to grab your attention. But I'm not going to use it in these comics. I don't want to do that. And not like out of like, oh, you're the worst person ever using AI. To me, it's like, no, I want to look at this and feel like the first audience for this comic is me. I look at this and love it. And I'm like, wow, that is so cool. And this is fun. And I enjoy this as much or more than anyone. And people enjoy the hell out of what I do. And I love to just look at my own work and marvel at it and love it. So I want to know that I did this. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to look at it and say, well, you know, I traced that from another artist and then I had the AI make me this. And I think AI is such a useful tool, though. And I think the people that are against AI, like staunchly against it, are being foolish. It's not going anywhere. It's here to stay. And in the proper context, it's completely legitimate and useful. I mean, something as simple as, hey, check this for spelling and grammar. I'll put things in the AI for that, like contracts. And if I'm writing along some long email or something like that, like, hey, will you check this for spelling for me, please? It's like, I didn't find any spelling errors. No, I use AI every day for a lot of research, asking it questions and stuff like that. So, but for any published art, I would never want to use that. Maybe if I wanted to see something, I could tell, hey, give me a color like a castle with a green and orange color scheme, kind of spooky. Maybe there's orange torches and the moonlight is blue-green. Let me see that. And it just like gives you an idea, like a starting point in your mind. I could see someone using AI for that, but not for me personally, not for anything I'm going to publish, you know. But as a research tool, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. The mob seat says Joe Kubert was able to draw tanks and World War II gear without tracing and did a great job.
Yeah, what a legend, right? And he started as a kid, like a teenager, right? He did stuff from his teens all the way to his 80s, I think, when he passed away. But what a genius. Yeah.
Courtney just showed up. It's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddball says hello, everyone.
All right. Hello to Courtney.
Uh,
And guys, I need your help. You're the Big Man Comics crew. You helped me out. You made this so great so far. Thank you so much. Hit the like and the share. Please do that right now. We got to feed the algorithm, right? YouTube it demands a virgin thrown into the volcano, or just it wants a virgin in a volcano, or it wants to like and the share. So, in the interest of not burning anyone alive ever, which has been my policy thus far in life, let's hit the like and the share.
So I thought this was kind of funny and interesting to go way back to an earlier conversation when we were talking about inhaling and smelling things that we didn't choose to.
Potheads, knock it off.
Antonius 707 says an Italian or Greek airline had a push cart on a plane and people would sample that shit. I think he's talking about the perfumes and colognes.
Are you kidding me, dude?
I couldn't imagine being on a plane because I wear perfume. So
No, tell people what I tell you when you put nail polish on.
what's that smell?
The nail polish is like bothered me so bad since I was a little kid. And I'll walk into our bedroom like, you put nail polish on? Like, ugh.
Yeah, was said with disgust. But I couldn't imagine being on an enclosed room like a plane and having just people spray a bunch of cologne and perfume.
I saw a horrible video on Twitter last week or Instagram. And it was a guy with a very thick Indian accent, like approved.
Yeah.
And this may not have been real, but I want it to be real because it's so funny. But I doubt it's real. It's just the internet. People are goofy. Because they were on an airplane. Everyone's sitting there covering their face with their shirt, and you hear this Indian voice go, "Who's ever farting? Please stop! It smells so bad."
That sounds like someone went in their pants.
I wouldn't want to be on an airplane with some dude who just like he crushed like 4 7-Eleven chili dogs before he got on the plane or something.
Yeah,
No
me
thanks.
either. I don't think anyone wants that.
Remember the girl I sat next to that smelled like salami?
Well, that's because she pulled the salami out of her backpack. Right?
So gross.
Oh, you'll like this. Courtney said that her dad, oops.
What?
She said, I didn't click on it correctly. She said, my dad used to get so weird about nail polish and perfumes like that, too.
It smells like
in
a-
disgust, LOL.
It smells like a headache to me. It doesn't give me a headache, but it's just, I hate the smell of perfume or nail polish.
I don't like this. The mob seat says employees at the mall used to spray perfume, women with perfumes as they walked by. I would be upset if someone did that to me because I only wear a couple of perfumes because they make me sneeze otherwise, especially if it's floral. And I don't know. Everybody has their own type of perfume that they like, their smells that they like. And I've had them try to put perfume on me and I'm like, oh, no, thank you. No, thank you. Like, please don't touch me with that.
I'm indifferent to perfume. I don't like it. I don't hate it, but I'm just like, is this necessary? I don't know.
Do you even notice when I wear perfume?
I do. And when I smell perfume, I'm indifferent. Like, oh, perfume.
Oh, she's wearing perfume.
That's how I feel about it. It's like a scientific fact. She's wearing perfume. Okay, anyway, going on with my day. Like, I don't care.
Right. Well, you got about a minute or so. If you've got any last words.
Well, first of all, thank you guys all for being here. Great things are happening. Had a great business meeting. You're gonna love Empyrean Earth Illuminated, the sci-fi book. I saw a preliminary trailer today. I got a whole marketing firm. I don't know what to say. People who are super professionals putting together the trailers and stuff like that. I've got a celebrity doing one of the voices for me, which is very nice. You're gonna absolutely love this stuff. It's just awesome. And then my talks with Tyrus yesterday about the book. Hadn't talked to Tyrus in forever about it, and he's on fire for this book, and he should be. It's an outstanding book. So you're gonna see great things. Starting a little bit, just pay attention to me on social media. On Twitter, I am Big Man Comics, X, Twitter, whatever. Everywhere else, I'm Gabe Team. On TikTok, which I haven't really posted. I posted there once, and we just opened the TikTok account. Got a lot of content coming there though soon. I am Big Man Comics 1, right, on TikTok?
Yes.
Why did we have the 1?
It wouldn't allow me to make it without it. It gave me a choice of a bunch of numbers.
Does someone else have Big Man Comics?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I'll have to ask, because if they do, I'll buy it from them. Because my website, remember someone else had the website,
Yeah.
and I bought it from them. So,
Right.
okay, guys, do all that, but make sure you hit the like and the share. Go to Big Man Comics, pick up Dean Keen, All American Woman, one if you don't have it yet, and you're going to be thrilled about the stuff you are about to start seeing. Okay? Talk to you tomorrow, 11 to noon every weekday right here. on my YouTube channel.
Bye bye.